these two questions that you asked, what is this thing and why does it matter? It brings me back to the beginning again, I think, of Strange Tools, where you write that art is at its core a philosophical practice. Do you see it in this way because art inspires, I mean, these very deep, to use your word again, existential questions? So it makes you ask, what is this thing? Why does it matter? What does it say about me? Um, this constellation of questions.
Right. Um, I think that, I mean, I'm now repeating a little bit what I've already said, but the interesting thing is that the artwork has value, and yet it's hard to say what it consists in, especially
Okay.
given that it has no clear application. And the opportunity to confront this, I know not what it is, namely the artwork, is, I think, inevitably an opportunity to reorganize ourselves. Because our ordinary seeing is so much a matter of habit and a matter of sort of spontaneity. The artwork interrupts that and says, whoa, don't just rely on habit. Don't just think you know what you're seeing. Stop. Try to see me. Try to make sense of this thing, which is the thing I am. See me if you can, I say, is the sort of slogan of the artwork. If the artwork could talk, it would say, see me if you can. Um, and I think that um, actually philosophy is in very much the same business. It works in a totally different neighborhood of our lives with words and argument and ideas. But philosophy is always making us stop. Stop just talking. Stop just thinking we know, and start reflecting on everything we're taking for granted. And in doing that, make our habitual ways of being strange again to ourselves. And in the face of that, in the face of the kinds of puzzling landscapes we build in philosophy, I think we need to reorganize ourselves, just as we do in the face of an artwork, so
Mm-hmm.
that philosophy becomes an occasion for a kind of freeing ourselves from the ways we have been carrying on and doing things differently. When you read a philosophical text, except in unusual circumstances, you don't read it for the information. You don't read it for the result. There are some exceptions to that, perhaps, but generally you don't read it for the bottom line, for what is proved or what is demonstrated. The journey matters. Why does it matter? Well, because we're interested in the journey. But what is the journey? The journey is like a playground or a space for us to think and work ourselves. So for me, a philosophical book or piece of writing or article is more like a musical score than it is like a scientific treatise. It's an opportunity for us to play along, and it wants us to play along. And sometimes we will and sometimes we won't. Sometimes it's really cool to play this, but it's not cool to play that, or over historical time, things come in and out of fashion. Who wants to play this anymore? But it's not just a simple matter of, oh, this was established, and then this was established, and then this was established. I need to know all that. No. If I'm a jazz musician, I need to get into what's happening now. And in order to get into what's happening now, I need to be in touch with this historical setting, but not because that's the right way and that's the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, please.
Oh, I find that answer very striking and very satisfying. The idea that both philosophy and art make us stop and reevaluate, and they make life strange again.
Right.
I think that's very nice.
But in making life strange again, free us from what it means when life isn't strange. Because when life isn't strange, it's because you're on automatic pilot.
Yeah.
And when life is strange, it's like being freed from the metronome and allowed to really be in the present, which is, of course, something that's really hard for people to do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know philosophers, I think a lot of philosophers won't be sympathetic to what I'm saying. They think, oh, we do make progress and we are making discoveries and we are increasing our knowledge. And there's ways in which that's That's true. But I think the fundamental thing we're doing is generating opportunities for growth and change in ourselves, and thus in our whole culture. So this way of thinking about art and philosophy is they're both, I call them reorganizational practices, and they're both really generators of cultural change.